It's nowhere close to being a digital alternative to inflation-resistant gold. Instead, it's a risk asset moving in lockstep with U.S. tech stocks. Every time the Fed signals a hawkish shift, Bitcoin falls harder than tech shares. Remember that epic crash in October? Bitcoin plunged 13% in a single day, while altcoins were virtually wiped out. So much for digital gold. So much for an independent market. This isn't a safe haven, it's a digital casino. Lately, Bitcoin and the Nasdaq have moved almost in sync, soaring together, crashing together. Data shows the 30-day correlation coefficient between Bitcoin and the Nasdaq 100 has reached 0.80, the highest since 2022. Compare that to real gold, which holds steady when the Fed hikes rates. Bitcoin, it falls harder than tech stocks. Michael Hartnett, chief strategist at Bank of America, warned early on, signals of peak liquidity have emerged in crypto credit, the US dollar, and private equity. Why is Bitcoin tied so closely to US stocks? Because the money behind both comes from the same players. Wall Street giants leveraging up on tech stocks with one hand and pumping Bitcoin with the other. It's borrowed money on both sides. When sentiment shifts and margin calls hit, they sell furiously. Bitcoin drops, they dump tech stocks to cover. Tech falls, Bitcoin falls further. A vicious cycle. On October 11th alone, $19.358 billion was liquidated globally in crypto markets, wiping out 1.66 million traders. A classic trap for the unprepared. The Fed remains the true master of crypto. When liquidity flows, Bitcoin shoots up like a rocket. When tightening begins, it nosedives like an Olympian. As Powell made clear, the Fed does not recognize Bitcoin. If central banks won't touch it, how can it be digital gold? Even Tesla's Elon Musk, after grandly accepting Bitcoin, quietly stopped. JP Morgan's Jamie Dimon allows clients to buy Bitcoin, but still calls it a tool for illicit activity. The big players see through the hype. Worse yet, Bitcoin's infrastructure remains full of holes. Exchanges get hacked, and a Deloitte study warns that up to 25% of Bitcoin could be exposed to quantum computing risks. How is that a safe asset? Liu Ying, a researcher at Renmin University, put it sharply. Central banks can't freely trade Bitcoin. When you need to sell, you may not even find a counterparty. This liquidity flaw means it can never become a true reserve asset. Wake up. Don't be fooled by the digital gold narrative. The insiders cash out when they've made enough, leaving retail investors holding the bag. If you want to see through more financial myths, follow me for deeper insights. What do you think? Can Bitcoin make a comeback? Let's talk in the comments.